What's going on, everybody? It's me, Slape. Yes, late. I'm sorry. It's always sometimes late. I want to appease sometimes my UK friends from the other across the ocean. So it's still kind of like early three. It's like 5 o'clock over there in the morning. So if you're up at 5 o'clock, my UK people, hello. What's up, Soviet? Yeah, you was scared. Rock's into hiding. Nah, she won't. She's like I said, an odd one. Word on the street is that she was hungry, but that's just from what I hear. She called the police on people for some reason. I don't know how, but why or what. But I guess yeah, she's oh, what's it? What? She's a freak. Yeah, what? Uh, she looks a little odd, but today will be, I guess, random stuff. Now, we'll talk about her. She, the Crow Templar are scared. Why are they scared, Jay? What they do? What's up, Blue Falcon Latios? uh, how they're still there. They still have followers, Jay. They're always gonna have some speds supporting them and shit like that, even though they've done some crazy shit. So it doesn't. It just makes them look even worse. But yeah, we could talk about that too. We'll talk about Green Ranger. Green Ranger. I've sent you a friend request. Why don't you accept it? Blue fucking Lazio supports Andrew. Oh, la 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 la. Imagine I don't anymore. Okay. Well, we can't force you. Oh, I can't force you. Maybe other people might do that, but I can't force you to do anything when it comes to who you associate. But people will call you out for associating yourself with alleged predators. So me personally, I don't really. I'll talk shit if you're talking shit about us, or if you're trying to call out another pred when you are supporting a pred. That's the only times I'll call someone out. But everybody, I left the guy's group. Okay, well that's good. Hopefully you stay away from those type of individuals. I know it's hard for people to know when one person is a pred or alleged pred. I mean, so I can't blame you. Maybe you didn't know. So maybe when they give you the information about this guy wanting to talk to a 15-year-old or something like that, then I don't believe you, Blue. Maybe she did. I don't know. I see her in the other girls' streams. What's her name? The not Aubrey. The other girl calls herself Alpha Wolf or some shit like that, or Alpha something. Forgot her name. She blocked me from her channel. I was trying to be nice to her, but um, I guess she didn't like. She thinks I work with Andrew for some reason. Kind of stupid, but these people. I'm telling you, these people aren't very smart. I went to her channel. I went to her channel to be like, hey, do you have any info on Andrew you could help us out with? She was like, oh, you are friends with Andrew. You and Rev are associated with Andrew. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't like Preds. Why am I gonna associate myself with a Pred? But I guess some people, I guess, yeah. Darkless, Kyle, Caucus, and Temperkling are the words. Yeah, well, Darkless is just a pawn. He's just a follower. He's just there. I I don't think the only thing I have on him or against him is him being in those smash and pass with the minors. But he's too autistic to even understand what the hell he was going in. He just wanted to be in the cool kids club, I guess. Well, the cool sped club. So he joined that stuff. They did a smash pass animation with touch. Yeah, I know. Well, Jay, I was the one that brought it up. there's a few that they did. There, I think what's her name? What's that girl? That pink Sonic. What's the name of that pink Sonic? Um, Fuck, I don't know the Sonic characters that well, but I know she's pink. So if you guys know who she is, could you guys put it on the chat? Well, they did a smash and pass on that person too. 13, 14-year-old, I think she is, something like that. There you go, JC. Now, Amy Rose. They did a smash and pass on that Amy Rose. And from what I googled, let me Google it again. I'll show. Amy Rose age topic. Uh, it says Amy Rose is a young hedgehog who is also known as Rosie the Rascal. She met Sonic on Little Planet and developed a crush on him. She is 12-year-old in the newest Sonic games. In the Archie comics, her actual age is 11, but due to the Ring of Acorn, she has the body of a 17-year-old. So it's still a underage person with about the body of the same body of a 17-year-old, but her age is 11 or 12, something like that. I'm not trying to get back that trust I lost. I just wanted to know. Oh well, up to me. If you're not around them or whatever, that's cool with me. I don't. I don't make people leave other people. I give them. We as a group, we give people the information, and they decide what they want to do. If they want to associate with those type of people, then so be it. There's gonna be other people that are gonna call you out. Look at Soviet. He's doing that, but others will do worse. Me, I'm kind of like whatever. I just won't fuck with you if you hang out with Preds or alleged Preds. I'm thinking about making a rap this on the Crow Templar. Yeah. Do it when you're smoking weed. People I guess tend to say that they get more artistic when they're smoking the ganja. Just don't get too paranoid, JC. Now I see you post about you being all paranoid smoking and shit. Like, goddamn, how the fuck you get paranoid? But no, but Green Ranger, I've sent you a friend request. We want to chat with you. We want to have a conversation with you about the alleged allegations on you. We don't have to talk on stream. We could talk behind the scenes, and you could explain to us exactly the stuff you were saying. And then, what was the freaking email address that I have? Hold on. I found an address from Philadelphia with your name on it, and let me see. Where is it at? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I gave one of my friends an email address to look to see if that email address is associated to any websites, any YouTube channels, anything, and he was successful. And he sent me the the channels or the links or the websites that email. I guess whatever they use to log in, and they use that email. Well, it gives us, it gives him all the websites that they use that to log in. So they gave us Ghostwriter is the Gmail. We were able to find his Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, even OnlyFans account. God damn, Green Ranger, you got them OnlyFans log on, log in. And you also have something called Chaturbate. I guess it says it's free adult live webcams. So Green Ranger, let us know. Add me on freaking on Discord. We want to have a chat with you about these allegations. I'm thinking about. I hear random voices in my head sometimes. it's your inner thoughts, Jay. It's like when you're quiet and you're thinking of stuff. That's your inner thoughts Uh, but yeah, don't let them mess you up, JC. Now. And as for Ash O'Leary, she left Demon. I saw Wolfies on the channel, and I won't associate with Wolfies still after what I knew about. Her. Yeah, yeah. Well, oh, that girl. Yeah, Ash O'Leary. I tried to add her on Discord, but she didn't want to. She blocked me. I was trying to be a good guy and ask for information about Andrew so we could share it in a different server or not server but group chat that we're in. But apparently she didn't want to. She blocked me and she didn't. She said I was a troll and that I'm working with Andrew and I'm like, what the fuck? This girl is special ed too, I guess. And yeah, I didn't want to say nothing, but not only the Crow Templars are hypocrites, they're also racist too. Yeah, that's all I had to say about them. Yeah, well, I showed videos of them saying the N word. I could say it, but like it's for what? Like I don't. I have. I guess I have the N word pass. I guess you say. I hang around with a lot of black people and Mexicans, and we all say that shit. But I don't say it at all. Even when I'm angry, I rather say the Mexican bad words, pinche, puto, cabrón, mama huevos, stuff like that, instead of saying the N word. I don't know. We're so brought up with saying the Mexican bad words and shit. But yeah, Green Ranger, come on, accept my friend request. Or maybe I'm gonna ask someone in the behind the scenes if you have a different account. Maybe the one that they gave me is your old account because word on the street is that you have a couple of them, but you never know. When decision making in life, it's like Crunk from Emperor's New Groove when he used an angel to tell him to do good things and the devil to do bad things. Well, everybody has that. There's some people more evil than others. The devil might convince you more often than the angel on your shoulder. But as long as it's nothing crazy like wanting to penetrate children or something, then if it's something about normal stuff like calling someone a bad word and whatever. But if it involves you harming someone else, yeah, that's bad too. But yeah, no, she doesn't trust Rev. It's likely why she did that. Yeah, well, I don't work with Rev. I'm a different entity. I work by my on my own, and then I help others if need be. I don't. I'm not. I guess the only guy that I mainly work with is the homie Zexio. Shout out to my compa. But besides that, everybody else is acquaintances. Everybody else is um, normal people, I guess. If they want to talk to me, they talk to me. If they don't, they don't. And we help each. Well, I try to help them if they need any information. If I have it available, then of course I'm gonna give them anything I have. I don't gatekeep. I don't try to keep this information so I could expose it. No, f that. If someone else could expose it better than me, here you go. I'm not here to take any credit for anything. I like to share all my stuff, and if I don't get credit, it's okay. As long as this person is getting exposed, and some people, I guess, don't think like that. I do. Well, Sloppy, give me a second. I have something that needs to be brought up in DM before I forget. Well, yeah, sure. Should be on my phone DMs, but Pride Month is right around the corner, and I'm going to make. Well, Eric, but to me it's weird, Jay, that Eric likes lesbians, right? Or yeah, tall lesbians. He's not gonna get any. He's just gonna look and not touch or see. He has to get straight women. But then again, his mom grounds him and shit. His mom is mean to him, from what I hear, and rightfully so. He doesn't. He ain't doing shit, right? His mom. He lives with his mom. That's what I'm trying to say. He lives with his mom, and his mom. He says his mom is very mean, but it's it's the mother. The mother wants a man to be a man sucking on the mom's tit while living in the same place. Yeah, and I think he gets SSI or something. I don't know. He sounds like he does, but see, I'm already fucking speculating. Yeah. I guess because 95% of the people that I engage with are special needs. I don't like saying the R word because that's when I'm intoxicated. I'll say those words, but when I'm intoxicated, I am a little bit more outlandish. I might say them in the stream, but then I delete the stream because I know that that's not the type of sloppy I am. I sent the DM to Rev and it already just remember to send DM. Must be friends. There's no settings. Okay. He still gets grounded at 36. Yeah. Yeah. Well, his mom wants him to stop going to the library to watch porn. Corn, I mean. So the mom kind of grounds him and be like, I'm taking away your internet. I'm taking away your stuff. Eric's mom caught him jerking off in his room. Most likely. I'm sure the mom has seen some wild stuff off of Eric. Or what's the name? What was his YouTube channel? For the Nation. What's his name? What's the name of his channel? Forgot his channel name. But yeah, I'm sure the mom had seen him do some very odd things. So now he goes to the library and goes to a corner where there's no one there, and he watches his lesbian corn, and then he gets he does his business and then leaves the go Tim Huggins. There you go. Yeah, there you go, Blue Falcon. Thank you for the name. But yeah, he gets granted. But fuck, I didn't want to talk about Melendez, but I guess it's just a random chat. Attempt to friend request by way is on an expose list. To me? Oh, okay. What, you blocked me again or what? Why don't you have me as a friend? I thought you had me as a friend. Not nice. Yeah, well, I accepted your friend request, Blue Falcon, Latios. Eric Melendez in 2020. Yeah. He's very, very. How does Jay say it? I'm horny. I can't do it like you guys. It's hilarious. Every time I watch those videos of Eric Melendez, I fucking laugh my ass off because his face is just funny. But I shouldn't be making fun of him. He's autistic or something. But yeah, Green Ranger, accept my friend request. We have a lot to talk about. You were very, very outspoken in your last video or your stream about Jules, saying you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, blah blah blah. You're claiming you're a cyber agent. From what people are saying, that's what you're claiming that you are. So saying you are a agent of of a sort is against the law. You cannot say that you are a agent of the government or cyber police or cyber agent or whatever you want to say, because that is against the law. But if you did say that and someone has a screenshot, that'll be something good.
Hey, what's up, Sloppy?
It's cracking. What are you doing?
Not much. Just gaming. Took a break. Saw you were live. I was like, oh, I'll join for a minute.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna go live today, but I was like, just go for a little bit. Those little bits turn into like 4 hours and shit sometimes. It fucking sucks.
That's usually how it happens. I think I remember one time I was like, I'm gonna go 90 minutes, and 4 hours later, it's like it just depends. Like for me, I think I did a stream the other night, and I think David was leaving, so I decided to take the stream over, and I was like, I'm only going for till 2 hour, 3 hour mark. It was like in 13 minutes, so I was like, because also my phone was about to die, so I was like, go as long as my phone will take me. But I think the only reason why I kept it go was because we were getting like I think 12 viewers at one point. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep it going until you're till 2 or the hour mark, or when people start to dip, like the viewership dips.
Yeah. Yeah, no, mine stays consistent around 8 to 10, and I'm like, okay, cool. Uh, 8 to 10 for me is like normal. I like it seems, and I'm able to respond to everybody. I watch other people's live streams that have like 100K, 200K people, and you can't. The guy that's doing the stream doesn't even acknowledge the chat most of the
Yeah,
time, unless you super chat or something. But
yeah. I was gonna say. I think the most people I've had on a live stream, like in current viewers, I think was 30. I think was the most we ever had. It was probably one of the Outcast streams me and Tom did back in the day.
mm-hmm.
That was probably the most concurrent people we had watching live.
Mm. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't think I only had a couple of 20s, and the most I ever had was like 40 something when it was that Junko thing. But besides
Oh
that,
yeah, yeah.
10. Go ahead.
That was. I think I think I've watched just a few because I think I was in a screening. I was in a screening thing for Gran Turismo. So I
Mm-hmm.
think so I just checked it for like a few minutes before I had to turn on my phone to watch the movie before I and I
Mm-hmm.
replayed it afterwards. But I was like, damn.
Yeah, it was a long one. I think that's when I was like, God damn, I don't like doing. I like my 1 hour and a half streams. Those 4 hour ones, I'm like, but I do like I always appreciate the people that stick around the whole time. It like for me, I have TikTok brain, so I could watch 3 or 4 minutes and then leave and do something else, and then come back 3 or 4 minutes and do that shit. But there's people that could watch the whole thing, and there was a good amount of people that stay and watch the whole thing. To me, is like, God damn,
Well, with
it's fair
me,
for me.
like for example, I have YouTube Premium, so I could just play a video. Like I could have it in the background. I don't even have to have my phone on. I could literally, like, I'll say I'm going for a jog or something, and I could have it playing in the back or in my headphones,
Mm-hmm.
basically like listening to a podcast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like there could be some people who do that, or they just keep it on in the background while they're doing something, but they can still hear it. They just may not be
Mm-hmm.
able to chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough for me. I watch people like I watch a lot of you guys. Uh, I've been going to a different community lately because you guys like your guys' community kind of slowed down when it comes to live streams. But I've been going to a different community.
Yeah, like
And go ahead.
I, I think the only people that are like David or the Network 3000, Jordan and Brandon, everybody else is pretty much slowed down. Either A, because there are some people who can't really talk about anything else,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's or there's not really any drama to really discuss,
Mm-hmm.
at least in our community. Like we had I don't know if you saw the community post I made, but
Which one?
the one I made, I think a few days ago, because
The
Jordan
one
was
saying
doing
that Leon called you a bitch or fuck off or something like that, or the
he
one
told
that
me get fucked. Yeah,
did he?
yeah. He okay. So we were in the we were. What was it? I think it was Jordan's chill stream, and I was in there during work. I came in there during my break, and we're just shooting the shit. And he literally fucking comes in there, and he he comes in there and he fucking says, "Oh, hey everybody, except one certain individual that one could get fucked." And of course, I respect Jordan. I'm not going to retaliate there, but I told Jordan after the fact, I said, I will retaliate there, but I'll make a post about it
Mm-hmm.
just to fuck with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
Um,
he uses his other channel, his animation one, the one that's shit, the one that
yeah,
sucks.
yeah. And
But
so,
yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
he's butthurt because of the fact that, like I don't care what anybody says. We're the reason why he fucking got his, why he decided to take down his channel. We never told him to. He just got owned so much that he fucking couldn't live with it. But
Yeah.
and funny enough, he lost like due to that tirade, that mini tirade, he lost a lot, and a lot of other people that may have that tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. So he's like, just because of his own stupidity, he's fucking he lost more people,
Mm-hmm. Well,
and it's sad.
from what I hear, I think someone behind the scenes told me that he was saying that like he wants to eradicate Palestine people or something like that.
What the fuck?
That he's all for the I guess genocide of the Palestinian people, something like that. I got to reread it, but that he wanted people from that area gone. I was like, whoa, goddamn, like that. You're that upset at certain groups? Ay.
Yeah, I like, he's just like, he's like, all he has done, like after that whole situation with Junko, all he had to do was just keep his mouth shut. He just dug himself deeper and deeper.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel bad for him. It's like, it's just pathetic how he has just nuked his entire reputation. And again, all of it could have been avoided if he did not take that picture.
Yeah, no, he said from what I'm reading of what the person said, and he says they hate Arabs, they hate brown people, they're effing hypocritical. They have a black person in the group who doesn't see nothing about that. They call them all for the reaction. So yeah, he's a sellout. So there's a black guy in their group, right? I forgot his name. What's his name? Let me look for him right now. You can talk for now while I look for this guy's name.
Okay. Yeah, it's just pathetic how, this, like, and again, like I will say, like it was funny after the stream, that stream that he was on, like my phone was blowing up about all that shit. I'm like, fucking leave me alone, people. But like one person, I won't say who, but he tried to say that I went low on him, and I'm like thinking, dude, if I went low on him, he would have cried. Second, if you call me making fun of his balding hair and the fact that he gets pegged by Kyle low, then you don't know half of what I could have said to him to make him fucking cry, because we all know he wouldn't have lashed out.
Yeah, well, he was pretty tamed. I guess his bravado, his anger, it was not there. So the guy's name is Akira Coops. I don't know if you know who he is.
I think I've heard of the name.
Yeah, so he's in that server, and they talk about black people, they talk about brown people, they talk about Arab, they talk about all these people. Because I was in that server in one of my alts, and then like I said, I still have someone in there. I'm not gonna say who, but I was able to see all the racist stuff that they will say and talk about women, even though they can't get no women, they talk about women. That's what gets me like not upset, but I'm like, dude, you can't get no women, but you're talking about women, and you don't even know how to talk to women. Another otaku, like I think
I was gonna say
it's like otakus.
It's typical. It's typical otaku. The mindset. And that's the problem with someone like otaku, is that he's, and again, I have no qualm with him at the moment, but like someone like him, like some of these simple-minded individuals, they look at like someone like him, and it's not just otaku. There's other people, Andrew Tate's or whoever else, but like they look at these people and they kind of buy into what they're selling, and it's pathetic. It's just like, just because, like, and but again, also to counteract that, there are women out there who are easy enough to buy that type of shit too from, let's say, a guy. They wouldn't buy from like someone like otaku. It's always funny, like if it's like this is the double standard that otaku could be referring to in the past. Where like if it was someone like Otaku, they're going to call him misogynistic and a pig and fat and whatever else. And if it's someone like Andrew Tate, you may have women who think that, who think the same way. But then there's girls who are like, "Oh, he's so hot," or something like that.
Well,
But
look at all the what do you call those murderers, right? Like what's that guy's name with the glasses? Uh,
Dahmer, oh yeah,
yeah.
like the TV showed how they glorified that.
Hmm.
Or even well hell my girl like she's been not recently because there hasn't been any news about him, but she was like obsessed for a while about that Luigi Mangione guy who shot that healthcare guy.
Yeah, yeah,
So she you could say she's part of the problem in that
yeah,
regard.
yeah. And that's the thing sometimes too. Even when it comes to a woman, like let's say a woman teacher, right? She's
Yeah.
in her 20s and she has intercourse with a 15-year-old from their school. Uh, the views of the individual are going to be way different than if it was a male teacher with the same age girl. And to me, that's still it's unacceptable. But because guys are looked at, if you smash with girls all the time, you're fucking the beast. Not knowing that, it's like me personally. Uh, if one of my friends told me, "Yeah, I smashed the teacher." As a 15-year-old, I would have been like, "What the fuck? You're the man," stuff like that. But if a guy, my sister would have told me, "Hey, the teacher tried to grow me," oh fuck that. So
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't know.
it's like if you ever watch like news reports and you see like a teacher's picture, right? And you're like, and like a lot of guys, maybe they're older, they'll be like, "Man, I wish she was teaching my school. Why did I all get all the ugly ones?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I didn't like even in my school, like I didn't really have any. For example, for me, I didn't have any teachers that would have, like, if they ever came on to me, I would have been disgusted. Although my ex or my girlfriend at the time, she probably would have killed him. So
Mhm.
it would have ended up badly regardless. But
Yeah,
but like it's just yeah, I get that because it's like it's just a double standard with everything. Same
yeah.
thing like it's same thing like if you know like for example like if a girl like rapes a guy, people think, oh, that doesn't happen, maybe not as often
Great,
as a guy, but
great.
oh yeah, grape, sorry, my apologies. Fucking YouTube. Anyway,
Yeah.
but if a girl does that, like there are guys who think, oh well, you shouldn't you're not a man if you fucking file charges or some shit, you
Mhm.
know. It's just
Well,
it just
a lot of time for a guy, he tells one of the friends, and then that friend tells a friend, and that tells a friend, and that's how they get caught.
yeah.
When it comes to the girl with the guy, from what I've seen, I'm not saying every time it's the same, but from what I've seen is the teacher or the older person doesn't want to do anything with that younger person, and that's when uh, shit hits the fan. They start telling people saying, "Oh, he did this to me, he touched me, blah blah blah," when they were in a relationship, and it's still wrong. But from the differences is that the boy doesn't want to tell people, but the girl at the end, when they, I guess, end the relationship, they're a little bit more bitter or something, and they I guess rat them out. But
Yeah, that's
that's,
why.
I'm not saying all the time. I'm not saying it's this every time, because people are gonna say, "Oh, so you're saying all the girls do that?" No, no. I'm saying from what I've seen and from what I read, that's what happened, and
Yeah,
it's a
and
lot.
there that's one of the
Go ahead.
reasons. Like for example, with me, like nowadays, if ever when I would hook up with a chick, right, I would always make sure I'd save all my texts. Anything that like anything in case it came back to bite me in the ass, like if because usually a lot of people I would try to. It's like with that one chick a while back where she tried to do that, and I'm like, bitch, I got all the messages. I'm
Mhm.
like you. I'm like you think that I'm like I learned from from the last one, so trust me, you ain't gonna get away with this.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like what you call it. It's like like I think someone tried to tell me, oh, why don't you go after her follow? I'm like, Well, she never pressed charges. Defamation defamation would only occur if it affects anything that of my livelihood, and it nothing does. You know, the whole fiasco didn't affect my job. It didn't affect me personally. It didn't affect my mental health. You know,
Mhm.
so there's nothing to do now. If there was like police things involved, then yeah, I could do it like that. But since there wasn't, and there was nothing affecting my, I guess, well-being, if you will, then that's like like a lot of people try to say, oh, I'm going to sue you for defamation. Like I've heard people say that on YouTube, right? And I'm like thinking, is this affecting your job? Is this affecting, like, if you're innocent, right? If is this affecting your
Mhm.
job? Is this affecting your well-being? Are you afraid to go outside? And usually
Mhm.
they say no. I'm like, okay, then you have. It's like one thing I tried to tell Arthur back in the day when Arthur would tell people, I'm gonna sue you for defamation. Like seriously, and I'm like, Arthur, as long as it ain't affecting your job and your mental health and all this other stuff, you can't really do anything.
Mhm.
They're not pressing charges on you. They're not. There's nothing. No one of great importance looking into you.
Yeah.
So it's like there's nothing to worry about and nothing that you can do. The only thing I could advise you is ignore. And I haven't I know he hasn't streamed in a while, so I haven't really kept up with what he's been
Mhm.
doing. I keep up with him like privately, but I don't keep up with. I haven't really seen anything he did. The only thing I think he did recently was that whole thing with Daniel. I think.
Mhm. Yeah, he sends me random stuff out of nowhere. I'm like YouTube videos and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't watch this shit,
Yeah, he'll
I'll
send me some.
watch it.
Yeah, he'll send me some stuff, and then we'll talk about his job or something. Like
Mhm.
we rarely like at least privately we
Mhm.
rarely ever talk about anything
Mhm.
regarding YouTube wise. Like he'll tell me
Mhm.
how his job is and all this other stuff and all that,
Mhm.
which and that's really about it. Um, but
What's up, Rezi? What's up? Oh,
but yeah,
welcome, Girl Gamer. Haven't seen you in a while. I did this late stream so I could have you guys in the UK and that area, say hello because I typically do it when you guys are sleeping and snoring. So appreciate you coming in, Rezi. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and even tomorrow, I will be on the show I usually do on Tuesdays just because of
Hmm.
work. But okay, hopefully that'll probably be the last time for a
Yeah.
while. I won't have to worry about that, but we'll see.
Mhm. Yeah. Well,
Um,
to be
go
honest,
ahead.
like who was it? Like for a while before, like when I started knowing who you guys were, uh, I will because I watch ZTV's like old streams, like old streams about you guys, mainly about you. From what I saw, it was a lot about
Yeah,
you and the DH guys. So in the beginning, when I started watching those, like from a while back, um, I was like, I was iffy about you,
yeah.
mainly
No, I get
because of
that.
the stories that I was that I will hear in those things. Luckily, I watched a lot of them, so they pieced up to being a little bit more different. But from the beginning, when they're just calling you this and that, blah blah blah, I'm like, man, this guy's he's a piece of doo these allegations are very true. I'm like, I don't know. Remember, I don't know. One time I told you, oh no, some of my friends, I sent you a picture of something, and you're like, oh yeah, yeah. I'm like, oh, they saw some stuff about you, and they're kind of concerned, and I just want to let you know and stuff like that. We didn't do it. We
Oh
later
yeah, yeah. I
on,
remember. I think that was when we first started talking.
yeah, yeah. And I told you, yeah, like, and they're just cautious. They saw some stuff about you that they thought it was kind of odd, so they're watching the stuff. And but later on, little by little, you kind of understand who you really were. Like I could understand the whole. From what I see, a lot of people scrutinize you for the whole like daughter thing. To
Yeah,
me, I could I guess see why you did it because uh, me and my family, adopted one of our nieces because at that time the mother couldn't, she wasn't, I guess
Fit.
mentally capable,
Yeah.
yeah, to, and so we took her in, and she's doing very good. And the daughter, my I guess we could say she's my sister. She is very content, and she's back to being, in a relationship with the mother, because she understood that if she would have stayed with her, she would have, you know, who knows what would have happened. But she is glad that. That's why when I see, when I would see them scrutinize, you about that type of stuff, I'm like, there's, I can't call that out, because we've experienced adopting someone from someone that wasn't fit at that moment to be a parent, and she did very well, and the relationship now with the mother is really good. So that's why I try not to, like, that's the only thing I was like, he maybe did it for a reason, and hopefully the daughter's doing well off, and stuff like that. And but yeah.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. Like I like, most of the people who still bring it up nowadays, I don't understand. Because like I part of me would believe it's also because of clicks, because for some reason, like, they think, oh, if they still bring that up, they'll still bring them some type of relevancy on wherever.
Hmm.
And again, it goes back to hypocrisy, where some people who were completely understanding once they got basically put two and two together and all that, and then when
Hmm.
stuff didn't go their way, they were like, oh well, let's go back to this, because even though we were buddies with you, we believed you and all sort of stuff. Oh well, fuck you. And
Hmm.
so and I got that same, even from some people who like I owed an explanation to, with everything going on. And some people even told me they had experiences between the time we stopped talking to when certain people and I started talking again, to where they kind of looked at it from that point of view, and they saw, okay, I think I have a better understanding of why he did what he did. He's like, still don't agree with it, but I understand it. And then
Hmm.
there's other people who are, they're obsessed with either that, or if I pay child support or not. And I'm like thinking, first off, that's none of your fucking business. I don't owe you or anybody an explanation as to why I do whatever I do. You know, like, I was just like, it's like, I'm like, I don't need to show you proof. I don't need to do it. Like, I know it. People that I'm close to on here know it. I'm like, they don't really, like, I always say, a lot of people that are, you know, that know the whole thing, to me, deserve to know, or actually, like, put the time in, didn't do it for some form of clout or some form of entertainment at someone's expense.
Yeah, that's the
And
good part, right there. Like me, I don't. I might divulge little things here and there about my real in real life, stuff. Like, I'll talk about, say, my kids or this and that. Like, I just recently said, I said that one of my kids is autistic. Um, so I kind of, little by little, I give out a little bit of myself. But from what I've seen, like the 4 hour, 3 hour streams that you guys would do, is like you guys opened up Pandora's box when it came to issues. Like, not just you, the other guy, what's the name, DH guy, and then Will was a lot in a lot of those discussions. Um, and in my head, I'm like why? Like, is it because it's the only place you could vent, or like, I never understood why someone would like say their whole life stories on the internet when
I could see it maybe as a form of venting. Like, even when I've talked about, like, previous exes, I never divulged their names or divulged too much. Like, I may talk about sexual encounters or something like that, but I don't divulge, like, oh, this person, this their name. It's like when I would make jokes around certain people about, oh, try to steal my exes. And I'm
Mhm.
like thinking, you bring the person on. I said, but I never brought that person up by name, and nor did I really was talking shit about that person prior. I'm like, I'm like thinking, just because I'm fucking making jokes about it, I could make joke of like, I could say anything, and it's like, oh, you gotta bring someone in. I just never understand that. Like, but like with me, I try to like even with my girl, I don't like she has her like username that she uses on here.
Mhm.
Um, other than that, that's really it. I don't she doesn't only a few people behind the scenes that or unless they're friends with me on Facebook, they know her name
Mhm.
because we're both have Facebooks or some shit.
Right.
But it's just the idea that not like or I talk about what I do, like even with what where I do. Maybe someone can make a guess on what I like, where I work or what I do, and all that. But I try not to give like little crumbs nowadays, not full on things. Because yeah, back then I didn't really give a fuck,
Mhm.
and even now, uh, honestly, because I don't really like most of the people that I deal with nowadays are small fry, in my opinion. So they're not anybody that I would be greatly worried about. Hell, I had one dude who was stalking me for a while. This is a few years ago. He he was the last person. He was the I think the only person to ever call me a POD because
Damn.
he was a first he tried to call me racist because I reported him to my superiors when we were working, and
Mhm.
he was a friend of mine, but he was making an ass out of himself. And I literally told him, I said, "How the fuck am I a racist? For one, I'm not even." I told him, "I'm not even going to tell you the reason, like the obvious about having friends, right? I prefer more Latinos and as friends than I do white guys in real life." I'm like thinking, but mainly my superiors, one was Hispanic and the other was black. You
Mhm.
really think if I was that race, why would I report you? And he was Hispanic too. Like, why would I report it to people who are different, who are of the same?
Mhm.
Oh,
You should have told him. You should have told him that you were Native American. You're the most oppressed person in the United States.
I did that. I did that. Oh, well, I didn't do it about me, but I said that. I said that once about. It was something that was going on, and I made a comparison about that. I said I was talking about how you know you don't hear a lot of natives talking about like race. I said now people can say, "Oh, because you got your casinos." I'm like, not everybody does.
Yeah.
Um, and then I said, Latinos, really, I don't really hear them. Like again, it's crazy to think that again with the whole Trump thing that a lot of Latinos voted for him, which is just funny to me. Again, I'd vote for him too. I'm using that as a. But
Mhm.
like, what was? But yeah, so he tried to call me that, and then he started calling me because I was looking after this one of my coworkers who was 16 at the time. Like I was like a big brother to her. I didn't like a fucking. There was this one dude who was staring at her creepily. That
Mhm.
was a busser, and literally first I found out how old he was. I think he was 19, and I walked over to him and I told him, I say, hey, like don't. I said, if I ever see you catching eyes at her again, you and I are going to talk outside because I don't play with that shit. So I guess he assumed because I was friendly with her that he thought something. I'm like thinking, dude, I'm like that's the most acidine thing. Plus, I can't believe you. Like I couldn't. No one would believe you anyways, even if you had any merit, because of the fact that I was fucking. You called me a racist first. You realized that didn't work, so you're just trying to find something that sticks. And then
Yeah.
later, after I heard him call me that, and after that, I was like, okay, fine. I'm fucking. Originally, it was gonna. People were gonna jump his ass because he wasn't the only one, or I wasn't the only one that had issues with him. Um, and so he was the only person ever called me that to my face, and I slapped because I don't usually get a lot of people call me that. And also he got off easy. And again, around here, if you hear somebody call someone that, you're not going to get slapped a punch. You're most likely going to get shot.
Yeah,
It's just it's how it is around here. That word doesn't fly here unless you have reason to believe that that person is not just doing it. That's why a lot of these guys, a lot of these guys who call people pedophiles or whatever without any substantial proof, they can get away with it on the internet. I guarantee you, half of these guys, even if they think someone is, they would never say it out loud on in public. Because most likely, depending on where they are, especially if they're in rural areas or whatnot, they're going to get stabbed or shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get called a predator almost every day by predators, though. You know, the predators
I was
call
going
me
to
a
say
pred
in public or like face to face or fucking on the internet.
on the internet. We always get called predators, or they call those groomers, and I'm like, what? Show us the proof. And then they don't say anything. I take it and I laugh, and then I always say is, show me the proof. And if there is something, which there isn't, but if there is that you make up or whatever, show it. But
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
like I think on one stream there was a bunch of guys call me different names and all that and tell me I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm like, show me the proof. Show me the proof I'm working with this guy. Show me the proof that I did this. Show me the proof I'm doing this. And nothing. And I'm like thinking, I'm like, wow. The people used to think that y'all had like receipts or had facts behind you. And I'm like, I get like I'm like in the funny days I learned from some of you to save certain screenshots if need be or whatnot. I said, but I do it better than y'all because unlike y'all, I have fucking I'm not gonna go around and falsely accuse people of whatever. Or
Mhm.
if I do, I just do it for shits and giggles because I'm like thinking, well, if you think I'm this, well, I think you're this. If we both have no proof, I guess we're at a standstill.
Yeah, I never like. I don't like calling anyone a pred. I might say alleged pred based on some of the information I have. That's why I always will say alleged
I
because
think the worst thing I'll ever say is that that guy looks like one. Like I would say if he got arrested and he was like on a thing say, oh, he was arrested for having sex with a minor or something, I would have been like looking at his mugshot, and then if I interact with him for, I'd be like, I believe it. I believe
yeah,
it.
yeah. There's some that look like it, and then later on you find out they are, and you're like, I knew it. I knew it was that.
Yeah, yeah. That's the. But yeah, like back to the whole thing. Yeah, like I've always said I wish I handled things differently. But like
Mhm.
my mindset I never I really try never to use my not it wasn't I don't use my disability, but I don't try to use anything mental to reasons why I do what I do.
Mhm.
But my mental mind state at that point, that's the only time I ever used that as a reasoning, was shattered.
Mhm.
Like I've told Tom this in the past. I'm like, I think on our last few episodes before we ended the Outcast, I was basically meant like it was like the lights were on but no one was home. I was mentally checked out.
Mhm.
And like I've talked about this before, there were points and periods where I thought about ending it. And I just I because like I finally felt I finally understood like because like when you're younger, when you're rebellious and all that, you tell your parents, oh, I'm gonna unalive myself or something like that, right? You're
I've
gonna be like,
never
oh,
done that.
huh?
I've never done that.
Well,
But
I
I,
know, but
I have said I want to run away though. Like I'm
oh,
not
that
here.
yeah, you say that you hate it or you're like what and I'll clarify, there's not everybody, but like some people that are rebellious that are fucking maybe very like maybe I don't know, I wouldn't say have issues, they're just very angry people when they're a kid, when they're teenagers, right? But
Yeah.
you never really do anything, and then like when you're in that mindset, I don't want anybody to be in that mindset I was in, where you know that was where when it felt like I felt that way. It wasn't like I wasn't telling anybody anything. I wasn't doing a Junko. That's why I got so pissed off at him back then when he fucking was trying to unalive himself with keys.
Mm-hmm. Was he? Crazy guy.
Yeah, that was ironically that was on Leon's stream. They were reacting to it, and then I think it was on the Ambiguous Bastards channel that it was happening on.
Mm-hmm.
And Hero, instead of going and ending the stream because he had power to do so, instead of doing that or trying to get in contact with Junko, instead he was more worried about coming into the stream and talking shit to me, which I always said shows what kind of friend he is. But like, yeah, I felt like I didn't enjoy going to see movies. I didn't enjoy fucking playing games. I quit, like, one of the rare times I quit my job just because I just wasn't that, hours were bad or this, that, and the third. It was just because of the fact that I just didn't want to work because I just didn't have any enjoyment of anything. It was just bad. It wasn't until like a month. It was really a month after everything happened on the YouTube side that because I was away from YouTube, where I finally started to feel better. And it just, one day I was playing Call of Duty and just playing it, and I got best play, and I got all happy about it, and it was something I hadn't felt in a while. And I started to realize, I was like, holy shit, my mojo's back. That was like how I felt. Like I was like, so as soon as that happened, I got a new job. Like I still had money from like the stimulus stuff that I saved. Because unlike some people, I didn't blow all my money on the fucking on anything. I was very frugal with my money, so I had monies where I could be like, oh, okay. Because there would be times where if ever anything happened, if I got laid off or something, I'd be like, I'm gonna take a little vacation. I got enough to pay rent. I got enough for groceries, what have you. So like I got back into working, and the only thing I wish I did differently after that was I wish I didn't go full heel mode, because I basically used all my anger and frustration that I had, basically used the sadness to fuel the anger and decided to go after people, which is where heel Chaden came in, or the Antichrist, or the devil, or wherever names people called. So that was basically where, that was probably the second thing I wish I did differently, was not go full scorched earth, even though I will admit some people did deserve my wrath. Not everybody, but some people deserve my wrath. Because there were some people that were legitimately hurt by it, and then there were others that acted like they were hurt, but they were just making a whole series of videos just to make profit off of that.
Yeah. So this Image, right? You watch Sonic too, right? Or no, not really.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this girl is Amy Rose, right? Amy Rose, they did the same group. Loft Rock, what's his name? Kyle and them. When I saw this, I'm like, let me check the age of this person, right? And I'll show you what the age is. A quick Google search gives you the age of each character, depicted. And they did a smash and pass on a character that was 12.
Jesus.
12 years old. They depict her a little bit older on the image so they could justify their I guess what they will do to this character. To me, it's kind of weird. Why would you want to smash and pass on a hedgehog? That seems a little more like zoophilia than anything. But
yeah, I was gonna okay, so I'll tell a little thing. My my girlfriend will kill me for talking about this, but fuck it. Like
Mhm.
she likes like who's the character? Like the one song character she loves is Shadow, but even she understands that she doesn't have some like an infatuation with like or anything like that. But she thought he was the coolest and character and all this other stuff. Um, but she even told me some of her like animated or video game crushes were kind of weird,
Mhm.
which I joked with her now. I'm like, well, now I gotta get a liquor mask, or I gotta find a way to extend my tongue to the liquor from Resident Evil. But like,
Yeah, girls like that character. I wonder
yeah,
why.
well, and then even with Shadow, like you could some people could say, well, he's badass. He has a fucking rides a motorcycle and has a fucking machine gun. It's like I kind of see the appeal, to, I guess, to people, but it's just like, but again, it's just the idea that, but like she doesn't like fantasize about things or do anything like that.
Mhm.
And I know there's a furry community out there. So but
Mhm.
it's like I just never understand it. I did hook up with a furry one time. I thought it was weird that she had like one of those tail butt plug things. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. That's probably one of the reasons why I didn't really last that long. But another chick acted like she was a fucking wolf. She believed she was a were or like a wolf.
No, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them on the internet. We deal with there's role play families that are furries that call themselves like they're like a woman, and then there's like 4 or 5 different people. They call themselves the mom and the kids. They role play as like the mom and the kids, and they're all like maybe adults. And to
What's
me, to
crazy
me, it's
is
just odd.
what's crazy is the chick that's like thinks she's a wolf. She's like a fucking well, and it's funny because I don't think her movie's still never gotten off the ground. I think she shot it. She's a director
Mhm.
here in San Antonio. I don't know if she still lives here, but I like I don't part of me is like thinking, do you act like this with any guy you hook up with? Because God, if you ever get big, the fucking stories people could tell about you. I'm like, I've never been with a woman who literally, instead of moans normally, she howls like a fucking dog. And I'm like
You're
thinking,
into the chain. Are you into zoophilia or what? Huh? You were dating a girl that howled like a dog and turned you on? Huh?
no, I was honestly, I was just wanting to finish
I'm
so I
just
can get the fuck
kidding.
out of there.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, no,
There were
man.
some,
These
there were
people
some that I
are.
was just like. Plus, she got me into a concert, so that was like I would have felt even worse if I didn't fucking at least finish the deed.
Yeah. Oh, at the end or what? You didn't even you copied her, so
No,
you
I
won't
never
get
did
the girl
that.
back.
Luckily, she didn't tell me to.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
been like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah. Right. Not at that moment. You'll be like, all right, baby, anything for you. Ow.
I'd be like, I don't even care if she told me you could be in my horror film that I'm making. I'm like, part of
Hmm.
me thinks I'm about to be in a horror film in real life. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in the next few
She's,
seconds.
she's gonna dress you as a little pup. You're gonna dress up as a furry. I'm sure there's a picture of you in the internet world dressed up as a furry for her. Don't I
Oh,
know?
I was gonna say, trust me, if there was, it would have already been leaked out by somebody. You know, you know how some people would love like that's like one time I did because I used to do work with some of my friends with their OnlyFans, right?
Mhm.
And I sent or I think one video I did with a chick. I don't even think that OnlyFans site is active anymore. Thank goodness. But not thank goodness for that. But I don't want my. Well, although I've told my girl I did that, so I told her I said if you ever know somebody who maybe has a video of me doing some of the things that was just beforehand.
If you
But
see if you see some milkers in a video, not might not be me.
funny enough, I did do like I didn't start like because at the beginning I just did POV because I was kind of still I didn't normal like I wasn't full like I like being on camera, but like that, I was kind of hesitant, especially since I know people would see it.
Like it's so
So,
small, it's so small. I'm just
well,
kidding.
not even. It was just the fact that I was just. It's different when you're doing like a fucking normal, like you're just doing a private like sex tape that you and your partner have and all that, and then compared to like my girl and I have like. That's, I told her, I said, hey, if we ever start an OnlyFans, we don't have to worry too much. We already got a good plethora of content to post. But it wasn't until like a little bit later when I started showing myself more on camera. But like, and plus I was using that as an opportunity to get better at getting right shots. It's when I made jokes about tripods. It's the reason why I know tripods can work on certain situations because I basically taught myself how to shoot from different angles with a tripod.
No.
But I posted one of the links on an old live stream because I made a comment to somebody. I said, hey, if you really want to see what I got packing down there, pay $50 to my friends, OnlyFans, and then you can see it. And I messaged the chick. I told her, I said, hey, I just promoted your OnlyFans on my YouTube. Can you let me know if anybody buys it? I said, I don't know if you can, but if you can, let me know. She told me there was a few people who bought it, but they were using different names or whatnot. I don't know. I don't think they could have gotten too much. So I couldn't really find out. I guarantee one of those people was probably Daniel.
I'm sure it says not Shimuro or whatever. What's the name? Shimuro?
Yeah.
If they put not Hero, so they'd be like, yeah, oh, it's not him. Okay, all right. It's not Hero.
Yeah, because it's probably like it was probably he would be one of them. There's probably a few other people I could have get because it happened within the next couple of days, and I had a feeling it was because I promoted it. And I think anybody who was friends with me would probably tell me, "Hey, I just took a peek." I'd be like, "Were you taking a peek?" I said, "I hope you're just taking a peek at the girl, not me, right?" But like nobody really said anything, so I was like, "Okay, it's probably one of the haters," and I'm like, "It's probably like probably why they can't really say shit, saying, oh yeah, he's got this, he's got that,' because they probably seen it and they're like, oh, I'll be lying about it."
Oh well.
Like I said, I don't know who did it, but I at least got my speculation because it was convenient how it happened a few days later. And you know what the saddest part was? They spent $50, I think, on a fucking, I think it was like 40 seconds.
That's it? Golly. Come on, Shane. I thought you were like maybe like a 5-minute guy, but 40 seconds?
No, like it was just a clip. It wasn't even like a full thing. And also to also clarify this, I wasn't the one that made the price. I even thought that was the girl was reaching too high on the price.
No,
I'm like thinking,
a 40-second clip on a sexual intercourse scene.
like to the people who did it, well, like congratulations, you got to see what I look like and all that other stuff. And to the other people, but also on the other hand, you are fucking idiots for spending $50, like and all that on a fucking like. But yeah, I even critiqued that because I'm like thinking, why are you charging $50? Like she went like. No offense, but she was good looking, but she wasn't no Scarlett Johansson or like it wasn't like a leak of a Scarlett Johansson thing or fucking Sydney Sweeney or some bullshit. It was just some random like it was just like she was beautiful, but it was just again it wasn't like anything regarding that, and I'm just like if it was like a 30-minute video, 20 minutes, then I can understand, but that I was like. I don't even know how much he charged. The others. Actually, I do know one that actually charged decent for. I think it was like a 20-minute video we shot. It's a different chick, but she charged like 15. And I was like, that is a little low, but you know what? More reasonable. But I said, if I
pay for no OnlyFans.
I'm like thinking like if it was like 40 seconds, I would literally tell people, I'm like, just post it on the main feed and then fucking post. And then if you want longer videos, then that's when you pay up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about making one myself a while back. Back when I was back when I kind of was more of a whore, where I was kind of just whoring around.
Mhm.
And I just was like, I can't remember I think it was around the time that I was not really either I wasn't really hooking up as much or I just wasn't. I can't remember. My girl and I have talked about doing it, like we've pondered it in the past, but I kind of I told her I said, I don't think it would affect my jobs, but I told her I said, but yeah, I told her I said, well, maybe one day we'll just make a poll and see if there's a demand for it. If there's a demand, then maybe we will. If there's not, then you know. But I ain't charged $50 for a fucking 40-second clip. I tell you that much.
Yeah, 40 seconds. You crazy.
I just never understand. Like, granted, I think my friend's page was free, but still $50 for that's still too much. Like I said, I would put that under a paywall and just do it like that.
Mm-hmm. For
I
free?
told her, I told my girl, I said, we ever do make one, like, we make straight bank just because the fact like the fact that I market shit like left and right, and I'm good at marketing shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I told her, I said somebody will buy it, and we get somebody else to buy it, and maybe get their friend to buy it, and then so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It just never was something that because even back then I was against OnlyFans for the longest time, and then when I worked with a few friends of mine that were doing it, I kind of had a better understanding of it.
Mm-hmm.
But still not something where I feel like Plus again, it's like I would think, and this kind of goes back to like the double standard and everything. I think it would be harder to make it OnlyFans as a guy, unless I guess you're going for a more fucking homosexual audience. That's by like I would say you probably the best bet would if you had one with partners. But again, I would think it would be harder for a guy to make one than a girl. But
Of course, yeah, always. It's guys. Guys could have to pay. Girls, they could hit up someone and they could get it. That's why it's a more. If you see the male to women ratio when it comes to who subscribed to those type of things, I want to say 90% is men and 10% is women. So yeah, you might not have a big market for males by themselves, just doing their thing.
Well, and it's funny too because like even with my YouTube channel, back when I was doing stuff with it, I saw like there was a good ratio. Like there were times where I had more guys watching and then more girls watching, which was funny because I felt like my channel was more. It was more centered into that like early to mid 20s demographic male. That's why I felt like my demo was more towards. And again, it goes well. I was saying about the guys about it being harder. Like even if you're fucking Fabio making an OnlyFans, I'm talking Fabio in his prime. It would still be difficult. But if like any chick, like I know some chicks who are pretty big, like big chicks who make a fortune off of OnlyFans because again, there are preferences for each guy. Some guys like thick women, some guys like big, beautiful women, BBWs. Some guys like skinny chicks. There are some guys who just like watching pregnant girls get rammed. I always wonder about
everything.
I always wonder about that. But be like, what happens? Like if you get pregnant, right? And and let's say you have an OnlyFans and guys just like watch you get rammed, and then when you don't get fucking, and then when you finally the kid pops, and if you have and let's say your numbers start going down, what do? Do you just get knocked up again?
Yeah,
that's to me that's fucked up because you're not one to have the kid because you're fucking you're fucking want to be mom of two or something. You just want to get like be able to make money off of.
Yeah, money makes the world go round. It makes you tickle. It makes your this and that. I don't know. I'm just saying some random shit. But yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's the money maker.
yeah.
You know, people nowadays. Every time I see I'm on reels on Instagram, for some reason I don't know why all my reels are Instagram models. I've never searched Instagram models ever in
That
my
that
life.
happens. That happens to me on either Instagram or TikTok, and I don't understand that. Like again, mate, I can't even use the idea that um, was it that like maybe my follower demographic is more female because I like have. I think I have almost 3,000 on TikTok, and then on Instagram I have 1,000. But Instagram I have
Mhm.
private, so Instagram you can't just
Mhm.
easily follow. So like, so I don't know if it's that. Maybe it's like well these your friends or your followers follow this
Mhm.
person, so maybe you be.
No, I'm
But
kidding. I'm kidding. I watch a lot of Instagram models.
uh,
That's why it stays like that.
yeah,
Every time my wife right next to me, I don't watch reels because I know there's gonna be one big old booty Instagram model on my feed, and she's looking at my reels, and I'm like, change it, change it.
see with my girl, if she ever sees that, she either a makes a joke or she checks her out too. So especially if she's like maybe a busty black chick, she's really into
Yeah.
like so like so like with her it's a little bit easier, but still some of like I feel kind of self-conscious if something pops up
Hmm.
just because I don't want her they don't like to get I only have eyes for you, boo, but I'm like
Yeah.
I can't help that I'm scrolling down and I just see something random.
It's not my fault. Instagram's trying to make me look bad in front of you, babe.
Yeah, yeah.
I never searched these women in my life. I
Yeah,
only
it's
watch
fucking
horror movies, reels. I don't know why they're bringing me all these Instagram models for some reason.
I know it's like recently I've been watching a lot of Law and Order SVU, right? My mom and
Yeah.
I used to watch that show religiously back in the day. But like this usually always happens. I'll go on the rabbit hole on YouTube. I'll get recommended an SVU clip, and
Hmm.
then one turns into five turn into 10. About 2 hours later, I'm fucking still watching it, and then I finally decided to open up Peacock and watch SVU episodes. And it was
Hmm.
funny. One day I was watching on my laptop while I was gaming, and my girl wakes up and she's like, "Are you watching SVU?" And I'm like, "How'd you know?" Because used to watch it too, so she could tell who's talking.
Hmm.
I'm like, "Yeah, I'm watching it." I think I
Yeah.
stopped watching that once. I think that the guy who played Stabler, he left for a long period of
Hmm.
time. But yeah, I like it happens. That's also how I get back into watching like The Sopranos or Sons of
Hmm.
Anarchy. I'll just watch clips, and then about a few days later, I'm already done watching the series again for probably the 1800th time.
Hmm.
It's one
Yeah.
of the
Right
reasons
now
why.
I'm
What's up?
watching the Last Kingdom. I don't know if you've seen that.
I think you mentioned it previously.
Yeah, I've been watching it right now, and then I'm the British, or I guess the Wessex. I'm Wessex, and I defeated the Danes, the Lothroks, and the Ragnaroks, and all that. So every time I'm watching it right now, I'm rewatching it, and I see myself as the Wessex against the Danes and the pagans because of what's going on in the internet world. I'm like, yes, I am Alfred, and they are defeating the Danes and destroying their stuff and shit like that. It's stupid me just thinking like that for some reason.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, it's wild. Like yeah, it's like I'm just getting ready for next month, or well, it actually is already April 1st, which that reminds me. One
April
second.
1st? No, it is April 1st for you guys. You guys live in the future, man. It's already Tuesday for you guys. It's still Monday for me. Mind blown. Hmm. But Randy, back to that. Hit me up on Discord. I'm gonna ask Jules for your other Discord name, so I could add you on that one too, and then you could talk about all the pornographic stuff you watch. Hopefully, not little kid stuff.
Yeah. I was gonna I had to mute myself because I realized I was April 1st. I was like, oh, let me look. My girl's asleep. I woke up for a moment, just wished her a happy 10 months.
Aww.
Yeah, I got her a little gift earlier when I went out. So I was like, yeah, let me. Right when I mentioned April 1st, I was like, oh shit. Well, let me do it while she kind of is tossing and turning,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to give her a good time.
Yeah. Good time. Good time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's crazy how it feels like yesterday that we've met and we've been together 10 months, and in 2 months we'll be celebrating a year. I told her, I said, she's been the longest relationship I've had in a long time, and it's another thing. It's always funny when people like criticize like me hopping from one to another, and I'm like thinking,
Mhm.
can I just be a whore sometimes? Like a person I gave a chance, I usually would do a 3 month trial, and if they passed 3 months, then they were usually meant something. But if they didn't, then that was basically thank you next. If I gave them that opportunity, 'cause some I just it was just flings.
Mhm. Damn, I guess the girls in over there are not good. I've been with my wife for 14 years.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the longest relationships. It was funny because they were basically back to back. Was my my first girlfriend I met in high school, and we were together. I think until I was 18, because it was about like right before I met my ex-wife. It was like we split up maybe a few months before I met my ex-wife, and then me and my ex-wife were together for
Mhm.
about we were married for, well, technically we were married a lot longer, but it was only because due to the fact that we were in different states at that point, it was kind of difficult for the divorce stuff. But
Mhm.
we separated for the last time. I think it was in 2018, but we were together for about 4 years. So we were together for about 4 years. We were technically only married for three, but we were married for longer because of the fact that the divorce stuff. But I don't really count that as how long we were married for, even though I think legally it'll probably be that way. But I think the legal way we would be married for about when did the divorce finalize? I think it was in 2022.
Mhm.
So we were married for about legally about 8 years,
Oh, damn. Okay.
but we weren't together for four of the eight.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Oh, so you're a
that's why.
rookie. A rookie. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, yeah, so those were like and after that, like there was periods where I dated or I date like I think the longest relationship after that was like 6 months, and
Ugh.
then after that it was just if they got to that point, it was usually 3 months until I and I wasn't always the one to cut it off, but usually I was like I always say after that if they didn't get that part to that point,
Mhm.
like my girl's the first one I had move in because with anybody else they didn't really move it, or like some like desperately wanted to move in or would beg me for me to move in. Mind you, we'd be together for a few weeks, few months, what have you. I was the
Mhm.
one that offered to ask my girl to move in. We weren't together for that long. I think we were together for about a month, but I was kind of like, you know what? I haven't felt this way in a long time. I even told Dragon this when he was down here when because it was around the time when uh, and I hadn't even said I loved you just to a girl first. Sits there and I say, "Oh, hey
Since high
Tom."
school. I haven't told a girl that I loved her since high school.
The only people that
You
say you
say it
hop
first. No, you say it first.
the only people that say you hop from one relationship to relationship or single. Yeah, that is fair. Like, and plus, like I've always said this, like it's wild to me. I'm like thinking, is it an issue to be a whore for a period? That was
Mm,
basically my whole gimmick. I was basically living the gimmick for a long time.
man.
Nowadays, that's why I make jokes. I'm like, oh no, I'm not a whore. I'm domesticated now. I can't. Those days are over.
Mm, yeah. Well, for now, like maybe she's like, you could bring another girl in our relationship.
Oh, we've pondered about that, but about like at least her like having a girlfriend or something.
Che, you'll get jealous because she'll be spending more time with the other girl, and you're gonna be sitting in the chair just
See, that's
watching.
that's that's the problem. That's always the fucking problem with those types of things. Because if you get with like if you like I did that once with one chick where we I'm trying to remember what when this was. This was years ago, but I can't remember exactly when. But she wanted to have a threesome, and we did that, and then she wanted to we kind of shared the girl and all that. It was
Mhm.
I was kind of still new to that whole idea because I was very old fashioned prior to everything.
Okay.
So that was still kind of new to me, and it was like with her, it was starting to get where it was getting annoying to
Hmm.
her, and I didn't really like the other girl that much, so I just kind of dipped up at that point. I was like, okay, you can have each other. I'm out. I'm like, I ain't gonna be part of this. I've already been in love triangles prior. I ain't getting myself involved in another one.
I'm gonna sit in the chair right there and just watch.
Let's see. That probably to me sounds like a break. Let's see. Oh, you're talking about the horror. Well, yeah, that's basically the times right. Well, and there were even
No,
times where I did.
he's talking about when you if having two girlfriends or something like that, or so that your girlfriend is gonna be hanging around with your other girlfriend, and so you get a break from them. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, well, like it wasn't that she was upset about that. She was just more so getting jealous, and I'm like thinking, you're the one that wanted this. I'm like, I'm not the one that like I agreed to it, yes, but I'm not the one who opened the idea. It's the same thing I tell my girl. Like I told her, I said, hey, if you ever want to have a girlfriend, that's. But I'm not like look. I even told her. I said I don't even know if it like. I feel weird
Uh,
to where we did. It's different with her because I do genuinely love her and all that stuff. It's not just like I'm fucking. It's one thing or another, and that's all said.
hmm.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
Jason,
Is that
you have
Cap?
your videos are better. I've seen them.
Oh yeah, for anybody who's been, I did get a few people asking me this because I posted a short on my channel earlier today, and I made a post about it just to clarify with people. Like,
Hmm.
no, I'm not making any more content on the channel. I just did that to kind of test the theory because I wanted to see posting a short unannounced,
Hmm.
like no hype around it, to a channel that I haven't made content in almost a year to see if it still gets any type of viewership. Which it got, I think I haven't checked recently, but it's at 1,600. So I
Hmm.
was like, yeah, just to put that in bed if anybody wonders if
Hmm.
ever I come back, if ever I decide to come back to my main channel, that since I haven't been making content over a year, the viewership would still be there.
Yeah,
So
but well, I'll be a little critical on that with you because um, it's not. I know who you're doing it to or proving to. And in my head, I'm like, you don't need to. You if you're showing it in David's channel. Uh,
yeah,
like
it's
you're
not really to
making it.
prove to them, it's just to
Yeah,
prove to myself.
no, Chayton, come on, Chayton. I see these. I see both of you guys and stuff, right? So I understand that sometimes they say some things that you're like, oh, I'm gonna prove them wrong, and then you do something, and then they give them more talking points to say, oh, see, we made you do that kind of thing, and you're like, no, I did it for myself, but in reality, you did it to kind of prove. to other people as well. Come on, Chan.
Well,
I'm very unbiased when it comes to these type of things.
no, I get that. I get that. That's one thing I kind of respect about you regarding that. And I'd be like, even if they try to say that regarding that, I'd be like, well, I'm like, making me do it or making me do what? I'm like, it's not the end of the world that I decide to post a short on my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, either
Well,
way, it's still,
yeah.
it's not like, you will kill a puppy. Fuck, I will.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, something like that happens. I'm like, yeah, that, like, it's not hurting me or hurting, what do you call it? Hurting anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And if they decide to make a talking point about it, be like, well, you waste more time on that than I even did on the short that was already from my TikTok. I
Yeah.
kind of look at it from that point of view because I don't waste time. Because I could have made a live stream for that reason, but I was like, why do that? Because I'm wasting time. If I already have something pre-made and post it and see what it could do, that's not really wasting my time. Even
Yeah.
if they try to say anything like that, it would
Well,
just be
I know the main person that he most likely we said something, and because I watched the stream, right? I watched the stream a while back, and I don't mind saying names. What's his name? Bio told you that your channel was dead, and by doing this, you're proving you're proving that he got it to your head to show, and you proved, I guess, for yourself as well that your channel you could be gone for a year and a half or 2 or 3 or 4, and if you put content, it will go back to viewers. But then they could say, "See, we got it in your head. We got
yeah,
it in your head that this is good, that you did
and
good."
that is something that they could and yeah, he's I would say he'd be one of them. I know there's been a bunch of people who said that, so it could be amalgamation of people. But but like he could say that, like, and he can act like a fucking 5-year-old about it, which he will. But in my headspace, it's like it'll make me like let's say he does a live stream tomorrow, for example. Not that he is. I don't know. I don't keep up with his shit. But
Mm-hmm.
like, let's say he did, right? I get notified about something 2 hours later, and I'm like thinking, you know what? Even if this was the reason, I don't feel bad about it
Mm-hmm.
because you wasted 2 hours of your life talking about a 15-second clip. Bravo, bravo! You have more time on your hands than I do. Because
Yeah.
no, trust me, there were points and times in the past, like probably 6 months, where people would say that, and it would kind of. I'll admit it did because I know I could, but thought I thought about going back to my channel and just doing content,
Mm-hmm.
and then also I would get people who would want me to come back. So it was a kind of a combination of the two. Because there was people who wanted me to make content again on my channel because they rather see me there because I guess I don't know, maybe they don't like, no offense to David, they don't like the sanitize stuff outside my stuff. That's one of the things I told David when I worked on his channel. I told David, I said that the day I feel sanitized, I'm walking.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still help you. I'll still work on popcorn. I love doing that. I will not abandon you completely. But as far as making consistent content on your channel, I'm walking if I ever feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I will give him credit. Anytime we've ever had any disagreements, he's understood from my point of view where I'm coming from with things. It's like I've told him regarding chill streams.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. Oh, Hanji was my dog was having a bad dream. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you okay,
Dogs have bad
Hanji?
dreams. What the fuck? They're like,
Yeah,
oh
it's just
no,
making.
they're chasing me. Cats, 10,000 cats is chasing me. Right?
She was yeah, I was like, hey, that's why I paused for a second. I'm like hearing a noise. I'm like, okay, I've not drank, I've not smoked any weed, I'm not here, and looking even at your screen to see if I see any sound movement. So I'm like, okay, I'm not losing it. And now I'm looking. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
anyway,
I'll be honest with you, Tatum. When it
yeah,
comes to those type of things, when like if I make a stream about someone, right, and I say this guy's a this that blah blah blah, he can't do this, he can't do that, and then he tries to prove me right, prove me wrong that he could be able to do this, I will eat that up and use that against that person due to the fact that I will say I got in your head, you're my bitch, blah blah blah, this and that, and it might be petty, but I'm a little petty sometimes when it comes to that.
oh
But
well, yeah, trust me, trust me.
I seen you guys do that, right? I seen you guys, I guess, try to prove each other wrong when it comes to content or when it comes to their lifestyle, when it comes to what they buy, what they do, what they use their money for, and try to prove each other wrong. And so that's why I when I saw the post about your thing, I'm like, I know what this is about, but
Yeah,
you know, everybody has their way. But like I said, they, might use it as, oh, we did get in your head, and like me personally, I don't like no one in my head, so I try not to prove anyone wrong. I just try to show the facts when it comes to stuff that I talk about. And like I'm not gonna make a video if someone says, "Oh, Sloppy only gets 100 views on this video when it's normal stuff." I'm like, yeah, most likely, yeah. It depends on who I talk to. I'm not gonna talk about someone just because someone tries. I want to prove them wrong that I could get more than a certain thing. Every day I talk about random stuff, and if I get 100 views, cool. If I don't, then it don't matter. But I'm not doing stuff to get viewers because they told me I don't break 100 or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
no, I get that. I get that, and I can see your point regarding that. Uh, and like I said, like for me, like even if that were the case, I think that was the other reason why I decided to do a short
Mm-hmm.
because like even if they did make a big fuss about it, I could still
Mm-hmm.
laugh at it. And even if they think that I'm like this or think I'm this or that, I'm like thinking, you wasted more time pondering what I just did. It's like if ever I make a post and then people freak out, like there's a bunch of people freak out about posts I make, right? And I'm like thinking, you're digging more deeper into this than it is. I find it like hilarious. So like even if there was like someone who did that in a video,
Mm-hmm.
like or did a live stream reacting to it, I would still like look at it even if in their minds they would think they're right or or whatever the reason would be. I'd be
Mm-hmm.
like thinking you're wasting an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours, or whatever of your time
Mm-hmm.
on something that I didn't put no effort in. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, it was just you could say that it was just to get a rise or proving you right, but in essence, you making a big hubbub about it, like I'm like maybe I was like I kind of look at it from like I guess you were playing the short game and I was playing the long game. And for you to freak out like that or act like a child over that, I'm like, okay, that's all I need to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but everybody thinks differently, man.
Oh
Like
yeah, no,
me,
I
I,
get
I
that.
would like me. When I saw it, I'm just like, if they really want to keep going back and forth, they're gonna use that as a way to say that they got in your head that a couple weeks, a week or two ago, they got in your head, and that's what happens when you try to prove people wrong, that your ego is too big and stuff like that. Like that's what me personally would say. I would say, oh, if I was feuding someone that I didn't like, and I told them messing around, oh, your channel's dead, and they try to do something to their channel, I would be like, yep, I made him my bitch. I made him do stuff, even though he said he wasn't going to do stuff on his channel, and but because I'm not, I'm petty, but to the predators. Like if you're a normal person, I could care less. But if you're that, I'll be petty to predators. But everybody else, I'm like, to each their own. Whatever they want to do, they do it. I'll just
Oh yeah, no,
keep
I
the
get
popcorn
that.
ready.
It's like what do you call it? It's like also with me. I guess I would also use as an example. I've told people like there was a running joke for years about me. Like 'cause I always said I leave. Became a joke. Even with, I would poke fun at myself about it, about leaving YouTube
Mhm.
and all this other stuff. Like that's why I think when I made that stream, I specified about things, and then plus, like I even thought to myself that I can't really like even with YouTube because I was gonna not even. I think the most I was ever gonna do on my channel after the stream I did last year was what was it? Was comment because I wasn't gonna use David's channel or thing to comment. I didn't even have access to his channel at the time to do that. So and then I started noticing that certain people were telling me, "Hey, what happened to you? I haven't seen like even though I've like fucking I'm like thinking I posted a link or I posted a link to a channel, what have you." So I decided I was like, okay, I'm gonna I'll post, especially if I need to post about something that I feel like David's channel wouldn't be like the Leon stuff, right? I even joked with David. I said, "Don't worry, David, I didn't post this on your channel." Um, but like I leave that open just because of the fact that that way I can keep some communication because some people still to this day don't know. Like for a while, Mr. Money didn't even know I was on David's channel until I think David told him that brought it or had him watch the channel his channel a while back. So it's like certain people didn't even know that I was doing stuff on there. But it was just weird. It's just weird how certain things work. Like you can make a post, say, "Hey, come check me out on this channel," and then some people still don't know you're doing it. But it also depends, I guess, on the subscriptions. I guess how many subscriptions you have, because let's say you have like 1,000 people you're subscribed to,
God damn, it's a lot.
you're not gonna like that post is gonna be lost in the shuffle after a few minutes,
Yeah.
depending on who you're subscribed to and how much they post. That was like one of the things I gave David in terms of critiquing was telling him that David, you don't need to schedule every fucking video you're making. And I told him my girl, for example, and I told him I'm only using her because she's the only one I know who has an issue with this, but I'm sure she's not the only one. I told him, I said, my girl only watches two people on the channel, me or another guy, Yasha. I always fuck up his names. I just call him Mr. Bogard.
Oh, okay, the guy that who has the puppets, right,
Yeah.
or
So like,
the ventriloquist, right?
yeah, she like that's like her favorite person to watch outside of me on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I told him, I said she's only subscribed for that reason. If she's subscribed to other people, she'll support other people, but she hates the fact that her entire subscription feed is smothered by all your shit. And I told him, I said, I'm telling you this because I'm sure she is not the only one that is like that feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like she's like, I said, maybe she's the only one that would tell me or say something unlike other people. But it is an inconvenience sometimes if you just because even with like love David to death, but like there are times where I go on his feed or I go on my feed and I see Price is Right. I'm like, fuck, I want to look at my fucking wrestling video or fucking or in your case, Instagram model on YouTube.
What Instagram model? What are you talking about? It's all religious stuff in my feed. For some reason, Instagram wants to send the devil to me and make me watch girls in bikinis bouncing their boobies. I don't know why. I didn't pick this. There's too many of them.
Yeah, it's just like that's just the whole thing with that, and like I'll give him credit. He's because I told him it's just save for the big stuff. Like I told him, live streams. Okay, that's because with like popcorn, we always try to schedule a week ahead, right, or get people excited for the next episode. And we have a pretty decent audience in regards to we know who's going to come in, we know who's going to support and chat and all that good stuff. But yeah, but my phone's at 4%, and I'm going to go get back into playing zombies because I'm trying to beat the Battle Pass before fucking season 3 drops this week. I heard Jay and Silent Bob are going to be in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 in the next season.
Oh, damn.
I do want to get them, but I'm hoping that they are affordable and not like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones where you have to pay $20 for each turtle. I just think that was stupid, and I feel bad for anybody. Well, actually, I don't feel bad because they bought it. So it's but it's like I didn't even buy the Terminator pack that came out because they had a Terminator pack, but that was like $25, and it came with an Arnold T800 and then just a regular T800 with just a skeleton.
Man.
Then I would have bought because I like Terminator. I love Arnold, but I'll wait for the Chuck Norris one. That one I'll spend pretty penny on if that ever comes because But I think there's a game with Chuck Norris in it, but I heard it's horrible. But we'll see. But pleasure as always, Sloppy.
Sure,
and we will talk again soon, man.
Yeah, anytime.
Take care, brother. Ta-ta for now.
Yeah. Back to one. Well, see, an hour, 46 minutes, late night, chill. But I'm still looking for fucking Green Ranger. I could call him. I have his phone number, or a couple of his phone numbers, but I'll call him tomorrow. If he doesn't answer my request on Discord, I'm gonna give him a call and leave a voicemail on his phone number, and hopefully he answers his phone, or I'll just give him a call a couple times. But with that, I guess this concludes the late night chat. A lot of different topics. Appreciate whoever came in. People that came in early in the beginning. People that stayed until right now. Like I said, I appreciate whoever takes the time to listen to my random stuff. Sometimes when it's just random talks, there's random talks. It could go from this to that. But I do appreciate whoever sticks around or whoever watches this later on. From what I see, more people will, I guess, watch it after. So, and because of the time, that's pretty much it. But yeah, next stream, it's gonna be the one I'm gonna talk about all the Preds that we have exposed and where they at and stuff like that, and we'll see how that goes. But besides that, Jay Cena, Cypress, Blue Falcon Ladios, Miguel, the first time I see that alt account. So be it. Always a pleasure. Gamer Resli. Hopefully you have a good day. Sylvester Bevidoli. Appreciate you coming in. Bill Berry. Always a pleasure. Blood Falcon. Yes, Melendez, as always. Horn Dog. Who else? I think that's it. Yeah. The main people that always chat. I always appreciate you guys. You guys keep the conversation going when I'm out of ideas. A lot of the people we talk bad about, they stay in the clouds. So it is what it is. One day, maybe one of these Preds. We already did Caucasian, and we talked about it last time when was it? Fucking the Diminished Crows, where when Leon showed up to the stream and we made him our bitch. But you can that one. It's still there. So if you are bored right now and you want to hear Leon trying to justify his I guess participation with the Smash and Pass, you can watch it there. It's pretty entertaining. Cal Spoons, Leon, yeah. Well, Kyle also took, yeah. All the stuff you're saying, Caucasian, is very true. Kyle doesn't work. He's most likely living on SSI because if you watch the stream, we asked Leon if Kyle is working. Apparently, he isn't. Word on the street is that he got in a fight with his dad, like a fist fight with his stepdad, and I'm speculating or guessing that's the main reason Kyle came to hang out with Leon because supposedly allegedly the cops came and stuff like that when it comes to Kyle. He got in a fight with his stepdad, and cops came, and now he's spooning Leon, living rent free, or maybe paying with SSI. But he's leeching. He's a leech. He's Leon's leech. But besides that, goddamn Caucasian, I'm supposed to end this already. Appreciate you too coming in so late. But you can watch this. You can watch him justify his actions on that stream if you haven't seen it. But I can't talk no more. I gotta leave. So appreciate you coming in, Caucasian. Next time, come earlier. So you could have asked these questions, and I would have answered longer. But with that being said, peace out, guys.